Do you know what a cochlear implant is?
No. Is that like something like a surgery procedure done in like your throat to help you talk or something? Or yeah, I guess.
Something that like goes in your ear, and you like to help maybe like not a deaf person, but like somebody who can't really hear.
Yes, my mother has one.
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
I think so. I know it's a thing that kind of goes somewhere in their ear to like, help them hear better.
Is that where it goes in the ear and it helps with hearing?
It's a thing that people put in your ear, and it connects to something, and that makes you be able to hear. Okay.
No, but isn't cochlear in the ear? I do know what a cochlear implant is.
If yes, should the parents decide the surgery or the latter?
I think that should be up to the parents.
I think it's hopefully a mutual kind of discussion that they both agree upon, but if the kid is too young, like birth, 1 year old, 2 years old, 3 year old, then it's obviously the parents' decision. But as the kid gets older, they should have more of a say in what's done to them and what their belief is towards that disability.
Yes. I think it depends on the age for when the parents or the children are trying to decide if they should do it. I think if the child's really young, then I think the parents should decide that, but if the child is old enough to understand what it is, I think it should be a joint, and they should have like both kind of if they want it.
You mentioned you know what a cochlear implant is. Do you think the parents should decide the surgery?
Well, he was very young. I don't know how he would be in a position to say yes or no. That's a tough question. The parents have to deal with that. If the student was older, I would say definitely have some say in it. I will say this, a lot of times he unplugged it because he would hear more than he wanted to hear. In the classroom things would be noisy and stuff like that. I think I don't know enough about deaf culture, to say, well, if I was in those shoes, because I know a lot of people think that they're against that, and so yeah, that's a tough question if you're not involved in it.
Do you know what ASL is?
I don't.
Is it sign language?
No, what is ASL?
American Sign Language.
Isn't that like the ice bucket challenge or something? Like the disease that happens?
American Sign Language.
American Sign Language? American Sign Language.
ASL, something sign language, something, yeah.
They're more things like sign language, like the class itself to learn how to sign and communicate.
I don't know. American Society of... Don't know.
Okay.
Sorry.
American Sign Language, I do believe.
American Sign Language, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. American Sign Language.
Assisted something learning.
American Sign Language.
True or false? If you talk slower, deaf people will be able to understand you.
No, it's ridiculous.
True. They can see your lips. If you're just like this, blah, 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 they can't see.
If they read my lips.
False.
Yes.
I doubt it. I think it'd probably come off as more patronizing if they're experienced with speaking to, hearing people. I mean, I think that would probably come off as just based on my experience, that would be a little more patronizing than it would be effective. But maybe it works for some people. It's not really for me to say, I guess.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna say false.
Do hearing aids make deaf people hear?
Yes.
It depends on the person and how they are. It can help, but I don't think it can give them full hearing.
They probably have some kind of technologically advanced hearing aid, but no.
No, they enhance what hearing you have, but it doesn't make a deaf person hear anything. If they have a little bit of hearing, I'm sure it can amplify it, but all a hearing aid is an amplifier to existing sound.
Yes.
I don't think so. I think it depends on the person, right? Or like how deaf they are. Like it depends. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's individualized per person.
Yes.
Yes.
Can deaf people drive?
I want to say yes.
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 Should deaf individuals learn ASL? And should they go to like a deaf school or like a mainstream school?
I feel like they could go to a mainstream school. I think up to a certain age, maybe like after 5th grade, you can transfer into like a main school, but it would help knowing your strengths and weaknesses, your skills first, if that makes sense.
I think it would be good for them to have their own school, but then also I don't want like them to be like ostracized. So I feel like they should have like the option of like learning their own things in a school where other people are, so that way they don't just get like stuck in one situation and never like learn how to be around other people.
I don't think they should have to go to a deaf school, but I think it's their choice if they want to learn ASL or not. If they didn't, then it would kind of outcast them, I guess, because they would have less opportunities to communicate. But I think it should be their own choice.
Well, I don't think it's necessary to go to a deaf school. I think that it is. I could see the advantages because you're in a grouping of people similar to you, so everything is sort of catered to you in that way, so you don't have to go over hurdles of learning, reading lips and things like that for people who don't know sign language. However, I do think it's very important for deaf people to know sign language, but I also think it's important for them to be able to communicate with someone who doesn't know sign language. I mean, with that being said, it's same in the reverse that people should also have some basic knowledge of sign language, sort of like how we live close to the border, so we have a basic knowledge of Spanish, like we can say yes and no, for example. So yeah, I think it's the deaf school thing, probably not. They don't have to go. It's difficult to answer black and white questions like that. And as far as knowing sign language versus being able to communicate verbally, I think yes to both. They should be able to do both.
Deaf school. I think that would be better. My daughter's a little bit sensitive about it. Yes.
Well, I mean, I think they should definitely learn ASL since that's probably their primary source of communication, but I don't think they necessarily have to like be mainstreamed either. So, or forced to go to like a deaf school. Like that's kind of, I mean, if they want to go to public school, I mean, they just have to realize that there's going to be like different obstacles that they're going to have to face. So,
Is sign language a universal language?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Not ASL. I'm from England and they do BSL, so.
I mean, anyone can learn it, but I don't think like everyone knows it. So like, I don't know if I understand universal correctly.
Can every deaf person read lips?
No. Well, yes, but not to a certain degree. It takes skill to read lips, and you have to get good at it.
It depends on the person. No, not every.
I'm only assuming yes.
No.
If they're born deaf, yes.
I believe so. That they read lips like that. That's how they communicate. In a sense, yes. I believe so.
I assume not. I mean, like, I feel like that's a skill that you gain over time, and especially like if you're going to a for school, if you've been in school with people who are also been deaf, and if you all know sign language, then there's no reason why you would have had to learn how to read lips because you would have been associated only with people doing sign language. So I think it depends on their experiences whether or not they know how to read lips.
No.
Probably not, but I would hope so. I mean, the answer is probably no, but.
How would you try to communicate with a deaf person?
Oh, wow. Probably, I would make my lips where they could read my lips better. I don't know how, but.
Use hand gestures, like that, or pretty much it.
Probably for like, since I didn't learn sign language and I know like A, B, C, D, I'd probably write something down and try and communicate that way.
If they did not read lips, then I would write, because I don't know sign language.
Speak normally.
I would write it down.
Like really enunciate my words, make sure that like my mouth is like clear, and maybe gesture a little bit, like just to make sure like if it's something I can gesture towards them. Yeah.
I'm not sure. Probably write stuff down because I don't know sign language, so I'd get like pen and pad and like write, so that way we could communicate with one another.
I would spell out the letters with my hands.
Okay.
And I would have a translator.
Anything else?
I would. No.
You ever met a deaf person?
Yes.
Can you tell me about it?
Well, I know communication was, a struggle. My very first time, interacting with a person that was impaired in that aspect. It was just a lot more like hand movements, hand gestures, it's actually kind of hard to even realize that they were deaf the first time, but once we realized that, just communication in general is the more difficult.
Yes.
Can you tell me about it?
I used to work at a place called Eatsville Cohen in Austin, and we were actually very near to the Texas State School for the Deaf. It was like around the corner. So we got some regulars that would come in. Some people had, I guess I don't know if the proper term would be a handler, but they would have someone accompany them. But we had actually a very good amount of people that would come in from the schools.
That's really cool.
Well, my mother has lost her hearing, and I've worked with several deaf people in the lab, so yes.
Yes.
Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, so it's my girlfriend's grandmother. So it's really just like do you want to know about like the interaction, like the very first interaction? Mm-hmm. Well, I thought she talked funny, and it took me a minute to figure out why she might talk funny, because deaf people have a particular speech pattern, and so it took me a minute to recognize the speech pattern and say, oh, she must be partially deaf, because she obviously could hear, but she didn't. Like, you just have to speak at her, and I have problems with that because I look away when I talk to people because I talk very loudly, so I don't really need to talk directly at them. And I also used to like to whistle until I couldn't do that anymore because her grandmother has a hearing aid, so can't do that. Yeah, that's pretty much that.
Yes.
Can you tell me about it?
Well, I only got introduced to her because she was part of our class, but she sat in the very front, and she had a translator typing for her, and she was very nice, but she really just studied really hard. That's all. I never really got to talk to her.
Can you tell me about it?
Gosh, it's been a long time ago. It was a young student of mine, and he actually had a cochlear implant, so he could hear. But he also used sign language, but he was able to communicate with me quite well. So maybe not your typical situation.
Yes, I have.
Can you tell me about it?
I met this girl in one of my classes. It was either chemistry or math. We were in several classes together, and she sat in front of me, and she was very nice. She was very sweet, and she actually every time she sees me, she's like, "Hello," and I was like, "Aw." And she's just that was the only time we ever really met each other, because then as years went on, we weren't in the same classes. No.
Probably, sure, yeah.
Yes. An interesting experience, because I really couldn't, if he didn't tell me, I really couldn't know that he was deaf. So it was a nice experience, you kind of understood because he read lips, versus going to sign language.
When I student taught, we had a kid that was deaf and blind. I don't know if that counts.
I met someone who was half deaf.
Yes, I've met several deaf people. One was my instructor back in undergrad, Dr. Elalecki, and he taught deaf culture in ASL.
Yes. Can you tell me about it?
It's been a while, so no.
Can deaf people go to college?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, I'm pretty sure they do.
Yes.
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 Can deaf people talk?
Yes.
Yes, in a way, yes.
Yes, unless they're deaf and mute. If they're just deaf, yeah.
Some, yeah.
Yes, I think they can. Yes. I've not had personal experience, but I think so.
Yes,
Yes.
they can. Maybe not all, but
Yes.
Do you think deaf people are accommodated in the hearing world? Do they get accommodations or?
I don't feel like they do, no.
Besides the stop.
Yeah, the walk sign, but other than that, I don't feel like they do.
Depends on where you go. I mean, here at this university, we have interpreters that are able to come out and interpret. And we've seen police departments starting to do more things for the deaf community, having police learn sign language and be aware that deaf people exist, so that they don't just assume they're on drugs or something. I think that they're becoming, as with many things right now in this time, it's becoming the world is becoming more accommodating to individual groups. So I think that, are they accommodated? Maybe not as much as they should be or could be, but it's getting better.
I would hope so. I know I have a learning disability, so I know I get accommodations, so I really would hope they do too. But I know the world needs this.
Depends, I think, on where you are and how well they're received in that community.
No, not really.
My daughter's deaf. Yes.
They are, but to what extent and how effectively, I couldn't say.
yes, I believe they are.
Probably not as much as they need. I think it depends on where you go, because I personally probably don't think so enough, but I mean at our school they have specific rooms set for them. I think that's kind of cool.
What do you think CODA stands for?
I don't know, except from a musician standpoint.
I have no idea. CODA? I don't know what it stands
stands for.
Okay, so CODA, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming the D is for deaf.
Yep.
C, certification. Oh, that's a Q. I'm so sorry. Wait a minute, college, I swear. Hold on. Wait, C. Okay, wait, no, let's move on. O. Organization. You signing to me, I don't know that.
Okay.
C.
What do you think the A stands for?
Association?
No. It's really simple. Like, do you want me to tell you? Do you want another hint or?
Give me a hint.
Okay, another hint is it has to do with kids.
Child.
Okay, so we got the C. So you have the C and the D. Child, blank, deaf, blank.
Oh, this is like a game. Child. Origin, no. Organization, no. Organize, no. Order, no.
It's a 2-letter word.
Child of.
Okay.
Child of deaf.
Child of deaf. What's the A?
I don't know. Child of deaf. America.
You got the closest.
Child of deaf. I don't.
Okay, so you have child of deaf
adults.
Yes.
Coda? Oh wow, yes. I guess like some kind of code maybe for like something.
Coda? I haven't the slightest clue, but since you said what do I think, maybe it's some kind of program that's for advocacy for deaf people.
Can deaf people watch TV?
They need more subtitles and stuff, and like at movie theaters, but yeah.
Yes, if there's lyrics.
Yes.
Yes, they can. They can just turn on their closed captioning. Technology.
Yes.
Yeah, see subtitles.
Yes.
Yes, I think they can, yeah.
Yell at a deaf person. Will they be able to hear you better?
No.
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 No.